Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I have to open this video by saying I am a bad YouTuber. I am a naughty, naughty YouTuber. I did a live stream last night and had two headline items I was going to get. I didn't get to either of them. Okay, I'll cut to the chase. Did not get to either of them, and I feel reasonably bad about it. So I right now, it's earlier than I normally start in the morning. I have to make these videos because I promised I would do this content, and I didn't even get close. It was terrible. So, you know, about a year or so ago, a little bit less. Look, I had an ongoing question. I was reminded, ongoing question about Chris Chibnall. My ongoing question is, what do you do now? Now, the analogy I used for that was, I remember when I used to live in Miami, North Miami Beach. We had, the supermarket there was called Publix, and we had kind of an old dingy one by us. But I liked it. I liked old Publix. It was right across the street from the apartment we had. So yeah, we had little kids then. I like going Publix. It was an old dingy one, and it was very much used by the old Jews, right? The old Jews that live in Miami. All those stereotypes are true, right? You ever seen Seinfeld, where they all go, when they visit their parents, it's always in Florida? That's all real, right? That is all 100% accurate. I speak as somebody who's Jewish and lived in Florida. Yes, I can see it. So anyway, the old Jews would go there. I don't know if the person I'm talking about was Jewish. Maybe he was. He was an elderly gentleman. I was in Publix one time, and I smelled a queer smell. You can't use the word queer. I thought it was a strange smell, right? I wasn't making a point about that at all. But I smelled a strange smell, right? And then it was like, ooh, that sounds like a broken drain. That sounds like poo-poo. Right, that sounds like a very doo-doo-ish smell. It wasn't a broken drain. It was an elderly gentleman who had soiled himself quite magnificently, I would say an explosion of diarrhea, right, in the aisle. And so, I felt bad for this guy. He was covered in shit, as was the aisle, as was many of the products. It was a real, mushroom cloud explosion of wet, gooey fecal matter. Thankfully, I was outside the blast range at the time, so otherwise I would have to go home and scrub myself relentlessly and burn all my clothes. But, that's a me problem, okay? So, that's sort of the analogy of where I thought Chris Chibnall was before Doctor Who Flux, right? I think Flux was the best thing he's done, in Doctor Who, anyway. Yeah, but it got panned, didn't it? But so he was my question is, when you're in that situation, what do you do next, right? What do you do next? Well, we found out the answer, because there are many people in that situation. I did politics all the time. It's incredible. Honestly, it's so much easier to talk about politics in the US than it is in England, because in England, both sides of the political aisle, are completely indistinguishable. We have socialist dickheads there, and we have upper class toffs here, and they're all dickheads, right? They all shouldn't be let near the levers of power under any circumstances. America, it's because there's kind of a war going on. I would say legitimately a civil war going. Once you weaponize your national institutions like the Justice Department, that's how we defined it with the American Civil War, the first one. Man, it's going to be called the Second Civil War. That's really kind of heavy. Yeah, I wonder if when World War II started, what should we call this one? The Even Greater War? I don't know, let's just go for World War II. World War II, well, it sounds a bit done before. Not really, this is the 1930s. People aren't used to sequels yet. Oh, okay, then fine, we'll call it World War II. Anyway, so yeah, we have a lot of people in the same situation, literally covered, well, figuratively covered in lots of fecal matter after exploding in diarrhea in public. What do you do next? And what they do, they just pretend it's not real. Yeah, no, it's all great. Recession? That's not a recession. No, not at all. Just all kinds of things. They just manipulate. Truth doesn't really matter. They just lead into it. So that was my question back then. My question now is, would you ask that person for advice? Would you ask that person for advice on what to do to avoid shitting yourself massively in public? I wouldn't, right? I would not ask that person for advice. I apparently am unique in this, right? We have two articles in which we talked to Jodie Whittaker about Jodie Whittaker, Jodie Whittaker's wit and wisdom, Jodie Whittaker's outlook on acting. I mean, really, Jodie, I have a thing. You know what I'd love to do if there's complete and absolute justice in the world? I would love to have Christopher Eccleston sit down and watch Jodie Whittaker's actual acting performance. Now, don't get me wrong, I think her performance was marginally less awful than Chris Chibnall's writing, right? I won't want to say it's better, marginally less awful. And he said, oh, she's the best doctor ever. Aye. Okay. I'd love to have them sit down, and Colin Baker, sit down and watch her acting choices, right? I want you to watch the job that she's done of this profession that you've worked on and that you've treasured your whole life. And then tell me she's a good bloody actress, because she's not. Anyway, but she's giving advice on acting, which I just find incredible. And the advice she's giving is to somebody who I've seen also acting a lot better, right? A lot more credibly better than Jodie Whittaker. So it's a bit strange. And then, at the same time, we had a whole article coming out of the best quotes of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. Really? Really? I mean, that's just got to be, that's limitless hilarity, I think we could all say. Yes, limitless hilarity. I think that's a fair way of describing it. Fine, so before we get into these voyages into insanity, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, because, what would life be like without people knowing more about the insanity of the day? Like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I'm really behind in my comments. I didn't reply to anybody else, so I was busy doing other things. So, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much. I am grateful for you doing all that. I am genuinely grateful. Sign up to my Substack. It's my email newsletter. I put extra stuff in it all the time, other than where to find my content in the case I get banned. And I will get banned. So it's free, right? It's free. If you want to be super nice, you like what I do, you want to throw a few digital coppers into the hat, sign up to my paid Substack. It's $5 a month. I send out comics supposedly on it, if I can remember. I got to send out 2 this month. I called up last month by 1, but I got to send out 2 this month. Listen, if you miss any, just let me know. I'll sort you out. Right? I'll get you whatever you missed. No problem whatsoever. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. All those things are very, very good. Also very, very good, the good people at comicbook.com. Providing hilarity wherever they go. Star Wars! How Doctor Who's Jodie Whittaker helped out with Andor. Really? Okay, I mean, look, the trailer for Andor looked quite good, right? I mean, I don't understand why Jodie Whittaker would think she could help. Like, hey, Icky Thump, there's still some people left to watch Star Wars. Oh, I'll help you out, making sure that no one does ever again. That I will believe, but I don't think that's the help she wanted to give. I think the help she wants to give is she thinks she's being helpful. How? Yeah, that's the question. Let's read this article and see if we can find out. Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker didn't just help give the franchise a new shot of life. She gave it a new shot of syphilis. It's nearly dead, right? They couldn't find anybody to hand over to. New shot of life? Really? That's like saying somebody bitten by a zombie has got a new shot of life. No. What bizarre, alternative dimension are they living in? She also helped Star Wars and her crew get the sci-fi lingo right. Really? She's an intense Karen, right? She is an intense Karen. She, for some reason, they gave her the scoop to say the name of not the Christmas special, Heaven Forfend, the New Year's special, a second one, and she did it wrong. Said, "Oh, I'll give you a bit exclusive. The name of that New Year's Day special. We don't want to do Christmas because that's all Bible-y. Oh, icky thump no. But the name of the new special is Revolution of the Dalek." No, Revolution of the Daleks, you moron. I mean, how did you get that wrong? Right? How did you get that wrong? It's Dalek. Oh, no, it's the Revolution of the Daleks. It's about when a Dalek turns all around. There's a complete revolution. Really? Yeah, I'll be more interested in most of my episodes. That is true, Jodie. That is true. Fine. A new interview with Andor's cast for the upcoming Empire magazine. Andor cast member Denise Goss, who plays Deidre Miro. Look, I have to say, the trailer looked good, but having somebody called Deidre Miro feels like I'm watching a revival of Crossroads. On Confessing and Learning a Friend, Jodie Whittaker, leaning on her friend Jodie Whittaker for advice on how to pull off sci-fi space talk in convincing fashion. Why would you ask Jodie Whittaker? She's the least convincing person. I mean, really? I mean, okay. I challenge you. Go and look in, was it season 11, the Sugangra Conundrum, where she waxes lyrical about a scientific drive, like a proton drive or something. And it's so deeply unconvincing. She'll say, right now, I'm convincing girls everywhere to go into STEM subjects. Because girls want to do it, even though no girls actually want to do it. Oh, I'm wiggling my finger because that's how she acted, right? Like, and it was so unconvincing. She had no idea what she was bloody saying, other than, I'm breaking a glass ceiling. No, darling, you're hitting your head on a brass bloody ceiling, moron. Really? I mean, what's the absolute worst person to go to whatsoever? Look, I've gotten a lot of trouble for opening my mouth many times in my little community. Look, I'll be frank. The rabbi of the community was breaking Jewish law publicly, and I thought that was a bit off, right? I didn't think that was the thing, but boy. It was incredible. The social convention is you're not allowed to criticize a rabbi, even when they openly do something wrong, right? But the social convention not allowed to do that. People lost their shit, right? People went completely insane. It made me mentally ill. I have to say, I had a long bout of mental illness because of that, right? Because I just couldn't believe it, right? My brain could not conceive it whatsoever. But anyway, I digress. Then, a friend of mine, was a bit miffed about something, and they asked me, said, should I say something? I'm like, why are you asking me? I am the worst person in the entire world to ask, right? Why? Why? I blew up my life because of that. Why? But they did anyway. So I guess it's kind of like the same thing here. According to Denise Gog, Jodie Whittaker said the key to delivering good sci-fi performance. Okay, I'm a gog to hear. Tell me, Jodie, tell me. Say it, Jodie, say it, darling. It's the power of imagination. Yes, I know, and you don't have any because you're an adult. Right? You can't imagine this role being Will. So, Sonic Screwdriver, that was not real. You go, that looks real. No, it doesn't. Right? There's a reason you've hemorrhaged viewers. It's because, and I'm using an ancient rabbinical term, right? An ancient rabbinical term to describe your level of performance. It's shit. It's shit. It's awful. Mate, you have to imagine. Okay. Now when you actually hear the quote, it all fits in place. Oh, mate, you had to imagine all those pictures in your head, Goss said, quoting Whittaker. I don't know what to say. Have you ever seen the show Extras, right? I think in the second season, it's Ricky Gervais. I like Ricky Gervais playing an extra. In the second season, he makes it big. Or maybe the third season, I can't remember. He makes it big. And he's casting a pay with Ian McKellen. And Ian McKellen gives him his acting process, which is very similar to this. Says, this is what you do. You just pretend to be somebody else. Well, yeah, obviously. No, you just pretend. Let me demonstrate, right? I'm being like, say Ian McKellen. The director, Peter Jackson, says, action! And I'm like, no, you will not bother. As I pretend to be Gandalf the Wizard. Now, you do know I'm not actually Gandalf the Wizard. So yes, I do know. So you pretend. So you might ask, how do I know what to say? They write it for me in a script. Where to stand? Somebody tells me. And it was taking the piss. This is somebody's real life. Oh my God, ick. You thought, mate, you have to imagine all those pictures in your head. Oh, it's sometimes confusing. I know. They said imagine a spaceship, but I don't know what a spaceship looks like because I've never been into space, especially not on a ship. How? How did this happen? I want to know how there was a series of people that thought, yes, this makes sense. We should totally do this. We should totally ask Jodie Whittaker advice on how to do sci-fi acting convincingly. Right? Yes, we should absolutely do that. Really? Okay. And then somebody says, yes, I'm going to write an article about that. And then somebody says, I'm going to publish that article. Who's the dumbest person in the room? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Delivery will actually be a key make or break factor of Star Wars Rogue One's uncredited director Tony Gilroy. Why is he uncredited? Is known for putting out dramatic thriller movies that have tight clip. Why is he uncredited? Inside a baseball dialogue. See Michael Clayton, the Bourne films. Oh, really? The guy did the Bourne movies, did this? Okay. It does look, the trailer looks good. I can't believe I'm still like, well, that looks good. I'm still somewhat amazed, right? Like, how does that look good? And it will very much be a spy thriller examining the Galactic Rebellion, how the Galactic Rebellion began within the heart of the Empire, and how figures like Mon Mothra, Genevieve O'Reilly turn from esteemed positions, senators, wealthy, powerful families, missed out why, to take up the fight against tyranny. Have we forgotten about Jodie Whittaker? I mean, yeah, all this sounds good. Okay, Star Wars fans and mainstream TV shows should be prepared for major action of Andor to be more often than not come out from scenes of dialogue. Okay, fine. The picture of Jodie Whittaker, it makes me laugh, I'm sorry. The pressure to deliver dramatic espionage story when getting all the Star Wars terminology down is something that usually is challenging for enough performance. Star Wars and blah, 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 blah. Is this it? Is that everything? Our goal was ambitious but simple. We want to blow hardcore Star Wars people away. Listen, mate, I'll just settle for being blown at this point. You want to blow me away? I'll go for that too, okay? I think you've got more chances of blowing me than blowing me away. Even though that trailer looks pretty good, right? That trailer does look pretty good. But we want their husband, neighbor, sister, that person in their life who's never got to, who never liked Star Wars. They're absolutely going for both audiences. Oh, really? That like you did with all the other audiences where you crippled your audience numbers, right? Yeah, that's a bad idea. Be Star Wars. That's really be Star. Don't try and be what the Karen next door wants you to be, right? God, man, that was a dumb article. Really? That's a real. I mean, right? The whole article is saying, "Oh, you got to imagine the spaceships in your head." Really, darling, really. Well, I will put that as one of Jodie Whittaker's greatest quotes. But fortunately, we have a few more. We have a few more here on StreamYard. Screen Rant. No, I'm not even using StreamYard. On Screen Rant. Doctor Who, the 10 best 13 Doctor quotes. I bet they are the best ones. Oh, please, this is going to be fantastic. In honor of Jodie Whittaker's upcoming final Doctor Who adventure, now is the perfect time to look back at the 13's best quotes. Okay, we have like in one of her worst moments ever when she's playing Snap. It's not funny. Here's the thing. It's funny having the Doctor be a bit doddery and silly and all that, if the Doctor can also be commanding and charismatic. Jodie Whittaker cannot be commanding, right? She just isn't. We know why. She can't imagine it, I think. I just don't think she's very good at her job, right? I do not think she's good at her job. We're 3 seasons under her belt. 3 seasons of pure shit. Under her belt, Jodie Whittaker has an incredible journey as the bright, charismatic... She's not bright! She's a moron! I mean, like, Smiley. She's got, like, 2 expressions. She's got, like, sad pumpy. Oh, no, I lost me dolly. That sort of look. And, like, big smile. Like, she thought, oh, have a good date, mate. Like, you got those 2 expressions. That's basically it. Despite the hate she receives from many corners of the internet, that'll be us. And again, it's not aimless, right? It's not aimless. I've done a deep reviews, slowly, methodically going through her episodes, and they're awful. Why are you denying that they're awful? You're acting like it's some bizarre. Oh, well, that's crazy. Well, why would you call it awful? Because they were shit. I mean, my God. And like plot holes, you can fly a fleet of war TARDISes through, and acting that I would have believed a tub of lard more than Jodie Whittaker. I mean, I gave the somewhat crass analogy last night in my live stream that Most kids would rather be babysat by Jimmy Savile and Bernard Manning, right, than sit through one of your episodes, right? I mean, that's essentially what would happen. Okay, kids, I'm going to give you a choice. Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Bernard's going to look after you. Oh, no, really? Oh, it's going to be so sticky. I don't want to. Or you can watch Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who. Well, I think Jimmy will be over pretty quickly. I think it'll be done in about 5-10 minutes. Jodie Whittaker episode goes from about 40 minutes. Yeah. I guess that's the way it's going to go. By the way, I have no idea if Bernard Manning was a paedophile as well. I just guess everybody from the 70s was now, all right? I'm like, look, if you got Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris, I'm like, who isn't a paedophile? And here's the question. What like, why? I mean, like, really? It's like, ooh. It just seems to me that should be an itch you can resist scratching to me. I mean, it just does. I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem to be that great a level of self-control. But if you're in any way famous in the 70s, you were clearly a paedophile. So, Bernard Manning, I hope you weren't, but I really don't know. Strike me the sort of person who might have been. If you know Bernard Manning was not a paedophile, please let me know in the comments. That'd be very nice. Yeah, here's the thing. I record these videos and I don't remember what I say when I record them. I like, once it's come out, all this happens on the fly. Like, blah, and it's out, right? If I had a moment to consider what I was saying, I wouldn't be saying it, okay? That's essentially how it works. But then you'll comment in it and it said, Bernard Manning was a paedophile. I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about, right? Please comment. With 3 seasons under her belt, Jodie Whittaker had an incredible journey as a bright... Oh, God, that's how we got there. Oh, bright and charismatic. She's charismatic. She's got a personality bypass. I mean, really charismatic 13th Doctor. Despite the hate she's received many corners of the internet, the actor has proved herself as a capable force. No! She's proved herself to be completely talentless. Whose talents stand alongside the previous Doctors, such as Tom Baker and David Tennant. She's not fit to wipe Tom Baker's arse, right? It really isn't. I mean, not fit to wipe Tom Baker's arse. And frankly, I wanted to shut up if he did. Oh, please be quiet. Oh, stop, or I'm going to call in Jimmy Savile in a minute. Jodie Whittaker brought a level of warmth and excitement to the Doctor. No, she didn't. She was a cunt. Right? I always help people when they need help. That's just me. Really? I voted Brexit. Oh, fuck you. Really? Yeah, no. Shut up. No warmth at all. That so few have done before. Yeah, so warm and exciting that everybody stopped watching. They said, oh, it's too warm, too exciting for me. Oh, I can't have all that warm excitement. Oh, no. Yeah, that sounds quite nice, actually. Hey, baby. Like a bit of warm excitement. I don't think I would if that's what you're talking. If you're talking about Jodie Whittaker, no. Describe some have done before. Helped shape her incarnation despite some messy scripts, and also her acting was awful. I'm sorry. In honor of this feat of upcoming departure in the centenary special, still don't have a title for it. And when we get the title, it'll be something that's not spoiler at all, like the end of the Doctor or something like. Oh, Christian. I mean, like, the latest rumour is Christian has decided not to screen the centenary special to avoid spoilers getting out, right? We just got to imagine how bad it would be. Now is the perfect time to look back on the quotes that best defy the 13th Doctor. I bet we're going to agree on this bit, though. Number 10. You thought we're all capable of the most incredible change. Yeah, Doctor Who was insanely popular and everybody loved it, and now it's not and everybody hates it. We can evolve while we still stay true to who we are. Well, if that's true, why didn't you? Right? The Doctor is a anti-authoritarian authority. You're a conformist dunce, right? Yeah. So, I don't know what you're bloody thinking, darling. I mean, like, you might as well just say, you thought I'm shit. Well, yes, you are. That would be true. But I think it's too honest for you. Offered at the end of Jodie Whittaker's first episode, the line about change is part of a larger speech directed at the episode's villain, preached at the episode's villain. You can see that Christian said, "Oh, this is going to be the Doctor moment. He's going to be the Doctor at this point. Not for the icky white man. Oh no, for a whole new generation of stunning and brave girls who are mainly not white, because it's so much better not being white. Oh, I hate my skin. I hate whiteness. Ah! Maybe I can black up. Why is it anti-racists always get caught doing blackface? I mean, like Justin Trudeau, how many times? I mean, like, basically he will put blackface on whenever he came near a camera. It seemed at one point, it's like, okay. The Doctor started to diatribe by patronising Tim Shaw. Don't patronise, right? You're not smart enough to patronise Jodie, right? That's the thing. When a dumb person patronises you, they sound dumber, right? You know, Chibs, I could have been a script consultant. I would have helped you out with all these problems. Before giving the villain a chance to redeem himself. Okay, which he doesn't. Both within and outside the context of the scene, the quote works to sum up. Who is the 13th Doctor as an individual? She's shit. Who talks crap? That she's completely opposite of reality. She's different from her immediate predecessors due to her gender and upbeat personality. Upbeat personality? Oh yeah, because Matt Smith was a bit of a downer, wasn't he? He was always moping. What? Shut up. Oh, she's a different gender. I didn't realise. She never identified as a female. And yet still the Doctor, she wasn't. Okay? This era is decanonised by her own hand, right? Because she's a moron. And yet still she's someone willing to give people second chances. Again, I wonder how she feels about Trump. Willing for... No. I mean, look. She's willing to give somebody a second chance if they ally with them politically. That's it. Not the actor, the actual Doctor. If they ally with them politically, that's why she's such a conformist. She'll give, like, Joe Biden. Oh, I know, you boarded all that, you know, all those children melting their testicles with chemicals or little girls cutting their tits off. It's all, you know, gender affirming care. But I'll give you another chance. Really? Okay. So let's see, quote number 2. If I were a bloke, you'll still be shit. If I were a bloke, I could get on with the job and not have to waste time defending myself. Okay, this is something that I in the era of Me Too, I've discovered more and more. Men and women react differently to things, right? And men in the workplace, when they hear an idea they think is shit, they will go, oh, I think that's shit, right? Men feel that being forthright in that way is respectful, right? It's not like you're not pussyfooting around the person. It's being respectful. Women in the workplace, when they say a shit idea, which they do often, like, oh, maybe we should have Jodie Whittaker be Doctor Who, right? Or what? Yeah, any of her stupid ideas. And you say, oh, that's shit. They go, oh, whoa, no, you just attacked me because I'm a lady. No, you're a lady with a shit idea. More often, it's not that you have a vagina, it's that you have a shit idea, right? No, if you're a bloke, you would just get on with accepting you had a shit idea without pretending it was because you had a vagina. It was you had a shit idea. And that's just it, darling. It really, really is. The Witchfinder's a historical episode of Doctor Who that finds the 13th Doctor authority questioned and her physical person threatened because of her gender. I don't really remember it, but it was just weird, mate. I mean, it wasn't a great script. And like, oh God, there's so much about that script was awful. When she leaps into the water for no apparent reason, hey, kids, I've got to save the person drowning. Oh, that's going to work out well. It pulls no punches in pointing out the historical discrimination and sexism that permeated English culture throughout history. Okay, you stupid, overeducated morons. Yes, women had many disadvantages throughout history. So did men, right? Your average man, especially at the time of the Witchfinders, had about the same rights as your average black slave did in America in, you know, the 1800s, or was it, whatever it was, right? Had roughly the same rights. And are you worried about that? No. Are you worried that it was only men that did dangerous physical labor, like go to war or mining? No. I don't see the Me Too movement going so well in the bricklaying community, right? It's just, I mean, what it is, it's a soundbite that made them feel good about themselves. And so they just believe it, because, oh, well, I feel good about myself. The quote sums it up perfectly. If you're a moron, if you're a clueless moron, yes, it sums up perfectly what clueless morons think about history. Beyond commenting on the atrocities of the past, oh, the atrocities that women didn't have to go to war, it's so terrible. Did men have the vote either? At the time of the witch hunters, were men allowed to vote in their leaders? No, they weren't. Really? And is that sexism? No, that's not sexism. That doesn't fit the sodding narrative. It's just so stupid. Right? It's just so ignorant and stupid. Why? I think it perfectly sums up this doctor. So we're agreeing so far. The Witch Hunter's title implies that witch hunter. The witch hunt that the title implies, and the quote also points out that sexism unfortunately permeates Doctor Who fandom. No, again, you've used Jodie Whittaker's gender to hide behind her lackluster performance, right? Oh, you're just attacking me because I'm a girl. No, I'm attacking you because you're shit. Believe me, if you're a guy, I'll attack you as well. And probably you would be less of a pussy and be able to take it, right? That's the only real discernible difference. And I said probably because there are many women who can and will take things. There are legitimate issues to be had with the current iteration of the show, but claiming the 13th Doctor isn't valid or doesn't count is not one of them. No, she invalidated herself, so she doesn't count. That wasn't my choice, right? I didn't choose this. This was a complete result of Chris Chibnall's, may I say, deeply idiotic choices. This quote is a perfect response to those baseless critiques. They're not baseless. How is it baseless to say that she doesn't convince me that she's a doctor because I don't think she can imagine being the doctor? I was perfectly okay with her being the doctor. I assume she would be good. It's not my fault. She had no idea how to play it, right? She has no ability to play it. It's not my fault that the entire British viewing public agreed with me. Oh, God, look at this stupid face, right? Yeah, I mean, like, it blows your mind, right? It's just blowing your mind. Yeah, oh no, she's totally legit. This is totally legit. If you're not looking at the screen, look at the screen, right? And tell me, does this look like a totally legitimate doctor? This looks like Arnold Rimmer, the next bloody generation. I eat danger for breakfast. I don't. I prefer cereal or croissants. Arachnids in the UK, a famously awful episode. The worst episode ever made up until the next one. Despite featuring some abysmal morals of any Doctor Who episode, I'm going to be kind and let these spiders die horribly. Of asphyxiation slowly. Yeah, okay. Arachnids UK offers several lines of dialogue to that point to the 13th Doctor being one of the most likeable Doctor Who characters. I hate her, right? She's hated amongst the British public. She's hated because she's a condescending cunt, right? That's why she's carried in space. This line perhaps is the best example. Is it really? Okay. In a bid to appear confident before her companions, 13 delivers a danger for breakfast cliche before fessing up. Yeah, she's not heroic. Right? I intend to be a hero, but I'm really not. I know you're not, right? That's a fundamental aspect of Doctor Who. It's one thing to pretend not to be brave or pretend to be stupid to fool your adversaries, but to actually be a blithering moron coward isn't particularly aspirational. Oh no, you're just saying that because she's a girl. No, because she played it like a blithering moron coward. Right, that's why. It is cute and perfectly in line with the character, as scatterbrained as the Doctor. The Doctor isn't scatterbrained. The Doctor's very together. Especially with somebody like, I mean, he has an eclectic point of view, but it's not scatterbrained. Especially with somebody like the 13 who tends to share most random information because she's an idiot. And again, I'm not the one writing it or playing it. I'm the one watching and going, well, that person's acting like an idiot. Why? Because they're acting like an idiot. Nothing to do with them being a woman. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just get on with it. Yeah, we'll tell you all shit as well. Keep your faith. Travel hopefully. The universe will surprise you. This is perfect Doctor Who, right? Perfect Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who. And absolute meaningless word salad of bollocks. Keep your faith. Okay, my faith is that, I'm a Bible thumper, right? I'm keeping it. Travel hopefully. What does travel hopefully mean? Okay, let's say I'm a radical Islamic jihadist, right? I keep my faith. That means I'm going to kill anybody who doesn't agree with my faith. I'm going to travel, hopefully, in the hopes I will kill people who don't agree with my faith. The universe will surprise you. Yeah, people don't like that. And you become surprised. It's utter bollocks word salad. Oh, man, I'm glad I've seen this for a video now. This is awesome. From one of Doctor's more unpopular and forgettable episodes, they're all unpopular and forgettable, comes a surprisingly potent line of dialogue. What does it mean? Explain it to me. It's delivered after the faith of the Adenino and the Paltraki is shattered by the revelation that Tim Shaw is not a god, and the Doctor comforts them and tries to accept their new reality. And look, this is the condescending bullshit that all liberal progressives dream of doing one day. That anybody who's stupid enough to believe in God, right? Anybody stupid enough to believe in any form of religion, well, their scales will fall from their eyes and they'll see the error of the ways, and you'll be loving. Oh, and you'll be there for keep your faith, even though it's all wrong, and just ignore it and travel hopefully. God, I hope I travel to a reality where you never became the Doctor. As important this moment is in showing us the Doctor is an individual who cares about others, the line also is this aspirational quality outside of its original context. It does none of those things, right? Who wrote this? Like, who is the brain trust behind all this? Connor Shelton. We've got to look you up later, mate. It's particularly dumb, isn't it? 13th approach, individual who cares about others. Line also has aspirational quality about the original context. It's comforting platitude that encapsulates 13th approach to life, and one that more people ought to adopt. It makes no sense. Travel hopefully, keep your faith. There's one thing I'm certain of. When people need help, I never refuse. Oh, really? I voted for Donald Trump. Fuck you. Really? And yes, you do. Okay, yeah, and again, just like, it's just the Doctor. I'm writing the Doctor. I think it's so brave. I'm so white and so male. The Doctor is one of television's kindest heroes. In the words of Stephen Moffat, they didn't give him a tank or a warship or an X-Wing. They gave him a call box from which you can call for help. And they didn't give him a superpower or a heat ray. They gave him an extra heart. Yeah, that was Stephen Moffat, who understands Doctor Who, unlike Chris Chibnall, who does not, right? The ideas of the Doctor remain constant across all iterations. This is even true in the 13th Doctor debut, when she states of the post-regeneral amnesia. She holds to her principles, which make this quote so important for the character, given how drastic of a change the show took with casting Whittaker. Yeah, no, the drastic change they took was they made the show shit, right? Again, unwatchable shit. That's just the math. Remember, don't deny science, right? Or the bit, you can't deny science. The science is Jodie Whittaker is shit, right? Sorry, you don't like that science. Let's see what this next one is. Whole worlds pivot on acts of imagination. I mean, I guess I agree. Innovation comes with imagination. I guess that's why he had such a staid, boring take on the Doctor. There's no innovation at all. I got a vagina. That's how I'm going to innovate with my vagina. Oh, Ecky Thump. Even the direst of the situation, the Doctor can be inspirational. That dire situation was when she caused it by taking her fam to a junk planet to look for something that was also in a war zone. They find a mine that blows up and should kill them, and they were lucky to be picked up by a travelling spaceship, a space ambulance, who she then tries to hijack and take back, meaning everybody else on it will die just so she can get back to her TARDIS. So that wasn't overly inspiring, wasn't it? Such is the case in Sungangra conundrum, when the Doctor attempts to rid the Pting from the starship Surunga. Though a moment on its own isn't quite as rousing as the script thinks it is. Nothing is as rousing as the script thinks it is. It all comes through bloody Jodie Whittaker's mouth. The line outside the episode context is a great reminder for audiences to be imaginative. Well, you have again. This is the anti-imagination era, right? Or just believe what authority tells you. Or are you scared in COVID? Well, you should be, even though you're a young person, and your chance of you getting damaged by COVID in any way is far lower than the chance of you getting any bad side effects from the vaccines. I shouldn't have said that, Icky-thump. Just trust authority. But not the Tories. Oh, they're bad. Oh, God. I mean, again, it's like you can't demonstrate this. You can't demonstrate over and over again that you believe the absolute opposite to all of this, right? And then say the opposite and expect to have any form of credibility. The line outside the episode context is a great mind of me imaginative. It embodies the joy and wonders of the Doctor. The joy of the... Remember that book, The Joy of Sex? I just remember it being advertised, The Joy of Sex. I do find it quite joyful. As a time-traveling superhero, revels in regularity. She goes to the toilet often. Number 4. I'm just a traveller. Sometimes I see things that need fixing. I do what I can. Oh, I'm so humble. Oh, I'm just a humble person, me, because I'm so good. I do what I can. How about this? Fuck off. Can you do that for us, darling? Can you fuck off and erase the last 2 years? That wouldn't be bad. No. Okay, I guess not. Delivering during the 13th Doctor debut... Okay, this person's seen 2 episodes and they've all been shit. The 13th Doctor debut episode, this quote sees her establish her identity. She has never established her identity as the Doctor, right? She has never had an I am the Doctor moment. I am sorry. That's just reality. You're up to... and accept the responsibility that comes with it. After spending much of the episode unsure of herself, she spends much of her era unsure of herself. Oh, yes. Oh, I would date you if I could, but I'm too scared. Oh, I am scared, me. Despite a notable change in appearance, the 13th Doctor largely held the principle of her predecessors. No, she's the opposite of her predecessors. And this quote neatly sums up the ethos of the character. Not really, no. Oh, God! Again, if you're not looking at the screen, please look at the screen. They're bringing up the space frog, the extra-dimensional frog. I mean, really, Hypnotoad is back. Why? Like, what? Why? Why do you think this is good? Friends help each other face up to their problems, not avoid them. Oh, Jodie, darling, I'm your friend. You are horribly miscast. You have no idea what you're doing. You've done no research. You've damaged the brand almost completely. Right? You nearly destroyed it. It's time to go. Right? Don't do any more. Just leave right now. Go. See, you're welcome. Actually, I think I felt good for that. Right? I did feel good for that. So there you go. Good advice there. Takes you away, another piece of shit. Delivered at the end of one of Doctor Who's most bizarre adventures, the line finds the 13th Doctor talking about the solid tract and an attempt to return to her universe. The solid tract knows that the Doctor doesn't belong in its world, yet wants to hold it because it's lonely. Oh, but I'm going to leave you alone to be lonely. Outside the context of the episode's surreal adventure, the quote serves as a reminder of the Doctor's morals, or lack thereof. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. No, see, I disagree with that. I mean, yes, I think the needs of the many do outweigh the needs of the few, but that's essentially socialism. Everybody's important. The needs of everybody are important, right? And again, it's just an idiot child writing this who has no idea what the world is. In this case, it means giving up on the possible friendship to bring her companions home. Whatever. Sorry, 2 more to go. Thank God. This is a bit grueling. I don't mind telling you. Sometimes this team structure isn't flat. It's mountainous with me at the summit and its stratosphere alone because I'm the bestest ever, Ekivan. So this was the episode, if I may remind you, where firstly they made it boring about Mary Shelley and Byron. You know, they weren't doing coke off each other's asses. No, they made a boring episode about Mary Shelley and Byron. But this was the episode in which she did the exact thing that Captain Jack traveled through time and space to tell her not to do because it will destroy the world. But yeah, I'll do it anyway, and I'll work it out. No, you didn't. You wiped out humanity because you're an idiot. Easy, the 13th Doctor, most dramatic episode. No. Okay, this line comes at the end of The Haunting of Villa Dildo, where the Doctor must choose between saving Percy Shelley or stopping the lone Cyberman. In a tense scenario, and one that tests the Doctor's relations with the companions. What makes this quote so potent is it's one of the few times the Doctor asserts her authority over a patch. She constantly does. Again, she's a bully cunt, I would describe her as, right? Much as she likes to see them as equals, they don't have the experience necessary to make the hard decisions, forcing the Doctor to pull rank and preserve history. Oh God. This is a painful one. Again, on another absolutely awful episode, The Demons of the Punjab, which doesn't explain the partition of India in any way, shape, or form. It just vaguely intimates that white people are bad because they let brown people kill each other, right? But the Doctor gives another one of her patronizing, sugary, pointless word salads. Love, in all its forms, is the most powerful weapon we have. Oh, so how do you feel about pedophiles? You okay with that? Oh, love is love. Oh, yeah, love is love. Yeah, I started watching Manhattan the other night. I was like, I haven't seen that movie for years. It's a Woody Allen movie. It's got this beautiful opening with these incredible shots of Manhattan in black and white next to a Gershwin soundtrack. It's sumptuous. It's fantastic. But almost immediately, it falls into Woody Allen dating, Muriel Hemingway, who, I don't know how old she was, but her character was 17, and she's like, it's so weird dating somebody underage, a 17-year-old. You know he was really dating a 14-year-old at the time. It was like, love is love. The heart wants what the heart wants. And you know, love in all its forms is the most powerful one we have. That is the justification for this wholesale way of influencing children, that they're not, as they are in all probability, normative heterosexuals with non-fluid gender identities, right? Instead, they're trying to convince them that, you know, like, you ask a little girl around puberty if she feels weird about her body, they're gonna say yes, and then they come up with the solution, oh, we should cut your tits off then, oh, you'll love that. It's so disgusting, right? This mutilation of children is so disgusting. It's beyond belief. But no, love in all its forms, the most powerful weapon we have. Well, I guess it is when you're chemically castrating 12-year-old boys. Yeah, I guess so. In one of the most touching speeches in Doctor Who history. Again, slippery slope, isn't it? It didn't take long to get from that to this, is it? The 13th Doctor asserts herself as the most positive incarnation of the show's titular character. Like, it's like Colin Baker in Revelation of Daleks say, why complain that people are being turned into Daleks? The Daleks love you! Love is love! Let yourself be a Dalek! Don't be a bigot now! Oh no, let them change your body into a Dalek one. She's no longer ridden with guilt about the Time War. She probably couldn't spell Time War. And this bubbly optimism makes her the perfect minister at the otherwise bleak situation. And it's so awful. The Doctor knows that Perm is not going to make it out the partition alive, yet she expresses hope the couple will be a guiding light for the future. A sense of hope which defines the Doctor's character as perfectly embedded by the 13th demeanour. Well, If you ever wonder what delusion looks like, right? If you're like, what does it look to be completely delusional? It could be you're covered in diarrhea and feces in the middle of a Publix, a supermarket somewhere, and not realizing you are. It could be you're standing from the podium of the White House saying, no, that's not a recession. Or it could be you write a shit article like this. Completely insane. Well, that was bonkers, mate. That was bonkers. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos.